G'day mates, let's start 2018 off on a positive with things to look forward to, shall we? I think a good way of doing this is splitting the games up into 3 sections. I'll start with the multiplayer section, then move on to the single player games, and then lastly end with a mixture of both. So without further ado, let's start with the multiplayer, shall we? Kirby Star Allies is set for release in spring. It's a great team 2.5D platformer game in which you play as Kirby, obviously. 2.5D meaning you move on a 2-dimensional plane with a 3D environment. Through the use of their copy abilities, players fight through to the end of each level. In order to make the game multiplayer, Kirby must throw a heart-shaped item at a particular enemy to turn them into what are called helpers. Apparently King Dedede's got a tank or something. This newest title will only be available on the Switch. Next up is Metal Gear Survive. Just as a reminder, Hideo Kojima has nothing to do with this whatsoever, but that still does not mean that we shouldn't be optimistic about the potential of this game. Metal Gear Survive takes place between Ground Zero and Phantom Pain, in which a wormhole is opened up, inhaling the mother base as well as offshore soldiers. Oh, that was a bit of a tongue twister, which is infested with zombie-like creatures with what look like crystals protruding from their bodies. As you've probably guessed from the title, it is a survival game in which you can actually play it single player, but if you want to, you can also do multiplayer with a maximum of 4 players. Metal Gear Survive is set for a US release on the 20th of February.
What's your plan?
Stay the hell away from me, okay?
Thirdly, A Way Out. Set for release on the 23rd of March in the US, A Way Out is a third-person action-adventure game in which you and your mate must work together to break out of prison and avoid the authorities while on the run. This game actually has a great deal of potential as it's designed specifically for split screen, so you and another person are forced to work together to survive. What's also interesting is that it's developed by a studio called Hazelight, which only has developed one other game before known as Brothers. On top of that, what makes it even more interesting is that in the next few months, this game could make or break the studio, so we'll be keeping a close eye on them. And now for the single player games. Vampire, an upcoming role-playing game set in 1918 London during the Spanish flu epidemic. You play as Jonathan Reed, a doctor who is coming to terms with his new identity as a vampire and trying to control his urge to kill innocents. Now, what makes this game stand out is that the developers made this game so you don't even have to take a life. Now, what makes this interesting is that the developers Don't Nod Entertainment have designed this game so you don't even ever have to take an innocent life to finish this game. However, doing so makes you very weak and unable to level up. Not killing anyone means that you better preserve your identity as a doctor, but what's even more interesting is depending on your actions will lead you on a path to a different ending. There are 4 possible different endings. The game is set for release in spring of 2018 on PC, PlayStation and Xbox.
Someone asked me once if I remembered how it all went down, as if it happened so long ago that anyone could forget. So yeah, I remember.
Next up, Days Gone, an exclusive to the PlayStation that runs on the Unreal Engine 4. Days Gone is a survival horror game where you play as Deacon St. John, who used to be a bounty hunter that now lives the drift of life, living dangerously along the roads. Due to his extreme lifestyle, you'll become familiar with bandits and zombies, but what makes this game so great is that you have freedom. You can choose many different approaches to missions as well as being able to use the environment to your advantage. There's also been rumors that the zombies will have an AI that allows themselves to learn from their mistakes, but that's just a rumor. Now tell me this doesn't look awesome.
Come on!
There's been no official release date yet, but just the promise that it will come out in 2018.
You're a wanted man, Mr. Morgan.
Maybe when your mother's finished mourning your father, I'll keep her in black on your behalf.
Thirdly, Red Dead Redemption 2. With no set release date promised, but as late as the second quarter of 2018. It will be released on the Xbox and PlayStation only, but I think that we all know it will follow in the footsteps of GTA 5 and have a later release on PC. Red Dead pretty much has the world by the balls at the moment, with it receiving 3 nominations from some of the biggest game award ceremonies on the planet, for being the most anticipated game of 2018. Not much else has been released, but as we move through 2018, be sure to keep a close lookout. Lastly, for a quick list of the other games that will be coming out in 2018, God of War and Kingdom Hearts 3 is a PlayStation exclusive, Metro Exodus on all platforms excluding Nintendo, State of Decay 2 on Xbox and PC for spring in 2018, Hunt Showdown, and The Last of Us Part 2 with an unannounced release date. What other games are you guys looking forward to? Let me know in the comments. I read every one, so I'll be sure to reply as well. If you like this video, please give it a like and sub, share it around. We also have a Twitter at OrgSocial. Thanks for watching.